The opening scene of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series gives us yet another glimpse into the Jedi tragedy of Order 66 from Episode 3. However, this is by far the most technically proficient, engaging, and well-executed versions to date. Everything from the handheld camera work, the directing, the actual live-action quality, all culminates to a perfect rendering of what the prequels could be in 2022. From the calm gliding establishing shot of the younglings following the Jedi's training, we then suddenly lose our balance as the camera work transitions with a handheld frenetic energy as we follow the Jedi protecting the younglings whilst daringly staving off the clone troopers closing in. And the clone troopers here are actual real physical troopers, not CG. Something about seeing them portrayed here much more effectively invokes the echo of stormtroopers who are soon to be part of the galactic fabric. Possibly the best part is that it helps instill a more favourable view of the prequels with this latest glimpse of Order 66. It shows that the prequels could have been just as engaging as the original trilogy if only it had been handled a little differently. No longer do we have an essentially computer-animated version with a couple of live-action actors dropped in, Space Jam style, but we finally have a wholeheartedly convincing live-action sequence showing the beautifully polished prequel era that feels so much more tangible and real. George Lucas's rebuttal to the "it doesn't look real" criticism was always that, of course it doesn't look real, it's a made-up sci-fi world, none of it's real. Which unfortunately doesn't really cut it, since it doesn't matter how far removed from the real world a film is, if we're watching a live action film, it can't be majority computer generated. Given the caliber of actor that Ewan McGregor is, he not only managed to separate himself from the criticism of the prequels, but in fact understandably became one of the most beloved elements, being immortalized in adoring memes. However, it was all too clear that the specific brand of Lucas's solely controlled trilogy did not give McGregor the opportunity to exercise his full acting potential. Enter Obi-Wan Kenobi. With Favreau and Filoni's triumph with The Mandalorian and the subsequent shift of the long-rumoured Kenobi project from the big screen to a limited series, we finally are able to see McGregor get the Star Wars project he deserves. The first episode gives us time with a defeated Obi-Wan, allowing McGregor's acting chops to give us some real character-driven screen time as he reels in the trauma following the events of Revenge of the Sith. In just the first 2 episodes, we get more substantial and emotive character moments from Obi-Wan than perhaps the entirety of the prequels. In Part 1, when Senator Organa first reaches out to the lapsed Jedi following Leia's kidnapping, we see him truly torn between his reluctance to come out of hiding and his sense of protection over Leia. The camera slowly pushes in from a wide angle to eventually a close-up as we see the character's internal struggles.
It's been 10 years.
This line says it all. We see the lack of confidence and self-doubt still engulfing the once legendary Jedi, even 10 years after his failure to save Anakin. This is reinforced by the heartbreaking reaction shot of the Senator and the Queen. Their eyes tell us everything, as their old friend and ally refuses to help find their missing daughter. In Part 2, ridden all these years with the guilt of Anakin's fall to the dark side and assumed demise, Obi-Wan only now discovers his once considered brother has been alive all this time. McGregor's performance manages to pull off this realization without saying anything until he is just able to utter, Anakin. Beginning the series with a timeline calibrating supercut of the prequels, the new Order 66 opening sequence could very easily have been included in the recap, which all points towards this project once being bound for the silver screen. Even the end credits ditch the new Mandalorian and Boba Fett style concept art in place for the traditional blue text on a Starfield credits previously only reserved for the feature films. It's clear this project is an important asset to Disney and Lucasfilm's recent output of Star Wars, and so far is being treated accordingly, which gives us hope that what we're leading up to will be something quite spectacular to behold.